Hi, this is John Kranz with Compass Games. I want to thank you for joining this quick video clip I'm creating. I want to actually take you behind the scenes of some changes in some quality improvement processes we've undertaken. Just to let you know, we weren't happy at all with the African campaign with some of the errata that slipped through. Pretty much a moment of shock and horror for me when we saw some counterbacks were missing. Definitely apologize for that, and we're taking steps to rectify that. And I think overall, outside of that unwanted errata, the feedback's been largely positive about the game and the improvements we've made to the game as far as supersizing all the components and doing the best we can there. But obviously we can do better when it comes to proofing. That message we got loud and clear, and that's why I want to spend a moment with you to share with you what changes we've undertaken immediately. And this is for my next project, my second project with Compass Games, which is Red Star White Eagle, the Russo-Polish War 1920. That was a David Williams design for GDW, and really I think one of the more popular GDW releases throughout the years. So let me walk you through what we're doing, and really this starts with a proofing team. So unlike African campaign, here we've assembled a full team of proofers. So not just one or two people, but actually 5 individuals as proofers for the game. We've been working nonstop for over a week, looking at all the components as we get them prepared for the printers. And obviously, that's one of the first steps we took, was to make sure we have more eyes on all the components, and also how we actually assign the proofers and what we have them do is also some of the enhancements we've made as well. So let me give you an idea what I've done here. So this is using Basecamp. It's a popular online service for project team management. And just 2 areas we're going to focus on: the message board, and then there's also a to-do list. So we've been going through all the assignments for the proofers of all the to-do assignments that have been completed already, which are here at the bottom, as well as all the proofing assignments that are still actually being got through. So that gives you a little bit of a status on how we're doing with our to-dos. And then of course the message board. So I wanted to walk you through actually how we organize all the team members we have on the Red Star White Eagle proofing team. So we have, for example, this welcome proofing team welcome message. This is one of the conversation threads. And what we decided to do was we're taking each proofer through one particular type of component in the game. So it could be for a certain scenario. There's a setup card as well as a deployment map card as well, or for another scenario, there's other things involved. There's the campaign game, there's the reinforcement charts for both sides, there's the combat results table, and the terrain effects chart. So we have all these components in the game, and what we're doing is we're not having each person just willy-nilly just review everything at once. There's a madness behind the science here, which we think through repetition is going to help us catch things. And I can tell you right now, it really has caught a lot of things. It's been very successful. That's why I'm excited. That's why I'm doing this video, because I know this new process is working based on just what's happened already for this project. So as you notice on the left side, we've got our 5 proofers, and you'll notice here on the right, for each type of component we have listed across the columns, you see the number 1 assigned to different people. That's their first assignment, their first task as far as proofing. So they're not asked to proof everything, but just to proof 1 or 2 components at a time, so they can be really laser-like focused on a very small task, but one that requires a lot of attention to detail. And then they'll move on and they'll rotate shifts. So the next day they'll have their new assignment number 2, which will actually be taking a second look at something that somebody else did the first day. So we rotate all 5 proofers through, so each component's going to get looked at by 5 different proofers 5 different times. And through that type of repetition, if an error or 2 slips through that's not found by a proofer, there's 4 more proofers in the process that are going to help us catch things. And then of course, when all is said and done, all the proofers are going to revisit everything as far as all the corrections and suggestions they've made to make sure they've been implemented properly. So that's a little bit about the process itself. I created a discussion thread for each proofing assignment. So as each of the 5 proofers finishes their assignment, they would post any messages, comments, corrections, thoughts, etc. And we'll talk about that more in a moment, so I'll close that out. And I'll just jump to near the end here where we can see where we're at today. So here we're at the end. Today we issued In our fifth day, we issued our last or fifth assignment for proofing. So all these components have gone through 5 separate passes already, including the map having gone through 5 passes. And in fact, the game map has now gone through a second full round of reviews. So we also do additional reviews by everybody after each person's done it individually. You can see here we have a 5 across the board for all proofers for the map, which is the rightmost column. That's because we're doing a final proofing step to make sure everybody takes a spot check look again to make sure what they saw earlier got fixed is definitely still fixed. So that's just to make sure we catch every possible thing we can. So that's the process we've enacted, and again, it's been great results. I'd say we've made 25 to 30 changes already, but perhaps what's the biggest surprise of all is we've actually incorporated a lot of suggestions for enhancements. All these proofers have a lot of experience with Red Star White Eagle. Some have multiple copies of the game, and they've played the game quite a few times, so they've literally rolled up their sleeves and said, hey, for this player aid chart, I think we should mention this as well as another mnemonic to help aid play. So we're not only finding things to make sure we don't have that errata and go through what I didn't really enjoy with African Campaign. It wasn't a lot of, we didn't have a lot of errors in African Campaign, but we had a few that shouldn't have happened for sure. That's all I'm saying about that. But we don't obviously want to have the same type of misstep for Red Star White Eagle, and we want you to buy with confidence for the projects, especially that I'm involved in. So here you can see, as just a quick example, I'm going to pull up one of the topics, which is proofing the campaign game, the turn record track, and the deployment map for the campaign game. Stephen Eschner was our first proofer in the first round, and we've since had 5 different proofers. So what happens is as we go through, and you'll notice here Todd Davis is actually going through and saying, yes, good catch, done. As we find possible errors or corrections or enhancement ideas, we're going ahead and making them. We'll find things, maybe there's misspellings, etc. So here you can see we're going through, and then we've also done a lot of enhancements before the proofers receive the materials, so they might see something that has since been corrected. So if it's a non-issue that doesn't need action, we're going ahead and noting that. So you'll see here as I scroll through, I'll scroll down to a section. You can see here we have a lot of non-issues where things were flagged by the proofer, which is their job, but it was something we didn't have to deal with. In some cases it was because it was GDW errata that we didn't know existed at the time, but it's actual errata that we fixed already. So they're catching it because they're looking at their original GDW versions. And then, however, there are some things we're doing where, yes, we're finding something and we're making those fixes, and then Todd Davis is noting those corrections here. So as you can see, a long list. I think this one had 70 or 80 messages. Here we had a real nice catch on something as well to make sure we had it right. And yes, we're rocking. We're getting everything stomped out. Just everybody's doing a tremendous job. So that's just to give you, again, a sneak peek behind the curtain. So we've got these message boards going for the game map. We've had 117 messages already exchanged amongst the 5 proofers, going through making sure everything is correct. You know, Red Star White Eagle is a bigger project than African Campaign, so knowing we had some errata slip through African Campaign, obviously this is a much bigger job as a project and a more complex game, so there's more moving parts. So you'll see here we have a lot more messages and interaction with all of our proofers to make sure we're getting everything right for you, the person who's looking to enjoy this game. So again, I hope this gave you a good little sneak peek behind the scenes of what I've done to roll out quality enhancement improvements for all projects I'll be working on. So again, you'll see these enhancements for Red Star White Eagle. I'm actually going to include a section now. I'm convinced, so I'm going to do it. I'm going to put a section in the very back of the Red Star White Eagle rules that actually talks about errata that was never found for the original edition of GDW, but we found it as a team because we dug so deep comparing the original version to our new version and making sure we had everything right. So again, just want to let you know we're always striving to do better. We know we can always do better in terms of quality, and that's what we want as far as our reputation, a quality game. The Designer Edition series especially, much bigger components, much more user-friendly. They're going to be all smarter components with additional mnemonics. We've added so many play hints and extra symbols to the map, to the counters, just to make things easier for the player. People have already been commenting as proofers how much better this game's going to be. They're just excited about it themselves. So again, I hope you don't mind me sharing with you what we've done behind the scenes. And again, Red Star White Eagle will be shipping sometime in December, in about a month and a half. And I really look forward to you taking a look at this game. And I'm really excited about the prospects for it as well. So thanks for listening, and I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.